What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Game Day Playbook live show. Today, we are looking at the 5-game main slate kicking off at 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time. 5 games, maybe. There is a lot of rain, a lot of potential for pop-up storms throughout the night. There's a weather system out in the St. Louis-Chicago game that, if it ends up over the stadium, could postpone that one. So, overall, we have 5 games, but as we approach roster lock in the next hour and a half plus here, we could be looking at a shorter slate. Sir Grande, my friend here, how are we doing, man?
I mean, this slate kind of just sucks because it's already like not the best mixture of like teams and players and stuff, and now we have to deal with rain in every game except the worst game on the board that nobody cares about at all in Colorado Angels. Like, not even Rockies or Angels fans care about Colorado Rockies and Angels game. Like, imagine getting tickets to the Angels. What who you want to go see tonight? I can't wait to see Charlie Blackmon tonight. Like, that's your one game without rain tonight. That's super exciting.
Noel, you know?
Yeah, Stefanak hitting second tonight. That's super exciting for Angels fans. That's your one game without rain. So.
I'll tell you what makes it exciting is you can now bet on these. Actually, in Colorado, I don't even know if you can. I mean, in California, actually, I don't think you even can. I was going to say, I got all my pick'em articles out there over at Fantasy Alarm, and we're big Feltner guys here tonight. And on this slate. So we'll talk about that as well as we break it all down. We appreciate you guys in the chat. Apologize for being a little bit late. My neighbor decided to cut down some trees and then turn on the industrial blower about 20 minutes ago here. So it's kind of waiting out that storm. We got Angelo in the chat saying, yo. We got IC3 saying what's going on. And we got Jeff P in the chat saying howdy. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in here today. If you have any comments for today's slate, show, bets, picks, whatever you want to say, something nice or something not nice, you can throw it in the chat. We'll talk about those things as well. Let's get into it, though. It'll be a little bit of a quicker show with it being just 5 games and not a fun slate, as you mentioned. Top price starting pitcher, the top 2 price starting pitchers are in that St. Louis-Chicago game where we are watching the weather here. Sonny Gray, $9,800. Shota Imanaga, $96. Seth Lugo, $9,400. Your top 3 price pitchers. Sonny Gray, man, he is having some struggles right now. Notably more struggles on the road than at home. Road ERA 5.29. Guess what, James? He's on the road tonight. He's in Chicago. Are you looking to spend up at pitching today? Again, 5 games, so you got to spend your money somewhere. Sonny Gray or Shota Imanaga, a pitcher you're looking to pay for?
I am a little bit interested in both. Sonny Gray. I feel so bad for Sonny Gray looking at some of the numbers on Sonny Gray. Super good buy low candidate in seasonal if you have him, or if you're looking to acquire pitching from specific people who own Sonny Gray. Really good buy low candidate.
Should probably consider offering that individual something that he needs and not something that he doesn't. So.
Sonny Gray has had a 6+ ERA in 4 of his last 5 games. And in those games, he has not had an xFIP or a FIP higher than 3. His BABIP in all of those games have been 400+. And it's really just getting to a point where there's just no way that unlucky stretch can continue because he's missing bats at an elite rate.
The strikeouts, yeah.
He's pitching deeper into games. Not even something like the walks haven't really been an issue other than the Washington game of late. He has just suffered one game of bad home run luck too. Like 1. That's it. It's really just been.
And he had 10 strikeouts in that game.
And he had 10 strikeouts. It's just been a bad stretch, and it's just all unlucky.
You know what the problem is with him is that he's pitching in the zone a lot. Yes. So he's getting strikeouts because he's pitching in the zone. But when you pitch in the zone at the major league level, these guys can sometimes barrel the ball. And this is what he's getting with all these 7, 8, 9, 8, 7 hits over the last 5 starts here. If he can miss more bats, or like you said, maybe get a little bit better luck with the batting average and balls in play here. Our guy Don popping in with another changes his logo is
That's his new haircut. That's another new haircut today.
Popping in. Coach Chris, my guy, what's going on, man? Happy to have you in here. Closing in on the NBA season, by the way, just 3 months out. As crazy as that sounds. So happy to have you guys all in chat. Listen, again, I'm with you here, but Sonny Gray, he's got to start limiting the hard contact against him here. 9,800 on a smaller slate, though. You're looking at maybe upside. I mean, strikeout upside. He's got the most consistent strikeout numbers of anybody here. Thoughts on Shota going opposite of him?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good spot. In the month of July, so last 30 days, St. Louis against left-handed pitching, 21st in OPS, 114 team ISO was 28th. So, not a lot of power, bottom 10 in offense overall. Yeah, I mean, I think Shota's in play. I don't think I'm okay with getting to either pitcher in this game. It just depends on your risk aversion and like what you want to do, because if it holds true, if the Kevin Roth report holds true, there's storms early and then there's late arriving storms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Late arriving storms might not impact Sonny Gray or Shota Imanaga enough to matter, right? Like if they get through 6 unscathed innings and then the storms open, well, that's not our problem. Like we're good on that front if they've pitched well. It's those early storms that also could present issues, because if it's an early and late, then it's curtains, right? It's a division game. You can make this up whenever. I mean, they're going to meet multiple times for the remainder of the season. So
agreed. Seth Lugo, another pitcher that's kind of had a bit of a rough go of it of late. Gets a matchup here against Detroit. He dominated them earlier this year. Obviously, that lineup missing Riley Green. Strikeout numbers have been a bit in flux. Had a couple of good strikeout games. Had a 10 strikeout game against a Cleveland team that doesn't strike out. Figure that one out for me. Home road splits have been fine. He's actually been slightly better on the road here. $9,400, big favorite on the board tonight. Is Seth Lugo a top play for you?
Plus 100 to get a win is a notable number. Like for like any pitcher to straight up get plus 100 to actually pick up a win is obviously it is really something to lean into. He'd probably be, if you're fading the first game, like Coach Chris mentioned, Seth Lugo's your top arm. But like you mentioned, he has been a little bit inconsistent. Detroit has been better. There's also rain in this game. So I think that's the problem with the Cardinals and Cubs, like just fading that game. There's rain in 4 of the 5 games.
Well, yeah.
We don't know, like the Cubs. Ooh, Mike Trout will not return this year officially.
Tough.
Like the Cubs Cardinals game looks the worst, but we have Atlanta in the summer that we've already seen that play out and get canceled outright this year. And this game, there's heavier stuff later on. Like it's basically the same scenario as Cubs Cardinals. So I'm good with any of the top 3. Lugo has the best odds. I would say Lugo is your cash game pitcher, is your best cash game option of the day. I don't think he has as high of a ceiling as Sonny Gray or Shota Imanaga, though.
The rest of the pitching is questionable.
They
throw the baseball, right? The next to the guys throw the baseball. Paul here wants to know our thoughts on Max Meyer. Obviously, again, highly touted prospect, one of the best pitching prospects in the Marlins organization. They've been very safe with him in terms of his recovery. Gets Atlanta, a team we've been happy to pick on. But if you look at some of the recent data for Atlanta, they're picking it back up. They're coming back around, which we kind of expected maybe at some point would happen. They had like a good 2-week spell, like a month and a half ago. We're like, all right, this is the Atlanta team we thought we would see. The hard contact rate starting to come around, and then they sucked again. Well, now they're back to looking pretty good. Meyer here, thoughts? 7,500.
Yeah, so the righties have given Max Meyer trouble in the minors and the majors in his short stint. So when you look at Atlanta, pretty good righties in their lineup. Soler, Ozuna. Um, they're not playing Darno for whatever reason. I don't understand that. He literally double donged yesterday, but whatever, right?
Yeah, when you get a guy hot, you got to cool him off.
Arcia, Merrifield, they have a very righty centric lineup tonight. That could be an issue. Obviously, Meyer is a good strikeout arm, or has been at the minor league level, hasn't really been at the major league level in his short stints, and is really good at keeping the ball on the ground. So that's what you need to do against the Braves. You need to keep the ball on the ground because, like you mentioned it, in the month of July, despite like not a lot of good numbers, you know where Atlanta was very good, John? The isolated power. 192 against right-handed pitching in the month of July. That was eighth in baseball, despite a team OPS barely sniffing 700. So if Max Meyer can keep the ball in the yard, then he's fine because there's strikeout appeal in this lineup. Jorge Soler didn't change that. That only added to that. And like the pitch count obviously wasn't really an issue with Meyer in his debut. So I'm good with it. I'm also conversely good with using the Braves because he had a 25% ground ball rate at AAA this year. It's in his small window. It's 35% or 24% fly ball rate in minors, 35 in the majors. Like obviously it's been harder for him to keep the ball on the ground. 35% is still pretty good. Anything you start trickling over 40, you're like, it's a little scary, but I'm good with Meyer. Not my favorite play, but I'm good.
Coach Chris saying he's looking at a Fulmer Feltner.
I mean, that's what he's talking about. He's just pitching the two guys with no weather.
That's right. Just pitching the two guys. And I mean, honestly, though, two terrible offenses, right?
Yeah, it's not a bad approach.
It's not a terrible idea. One of these guys might get the win.
Might.
They both get no decisions. I don't know. Like
it was 2-1. It was 2-1 last night. That was the
We had Freeland in our lineup, so like we were in. Again, I wrote Feltner up and everything. Over 16.5 outs, over on Sleeper, over 5.5 strikeouts, I think it was on Prize Picks. Fantasy points, I think it was over 27 fantasy points on Underdog. Took the over on all of it. I'm just in on Feltner here today. Again, home road splits, 2 ERA, better, full runs better on the road than at home. K9's okay. It's like a strikeout per inning over the last handful of starts for him. And with just how bad the Angels are, they're a bottom 20 team in every offensive category except strikeouts against right-handed pitching.
I think there's a lot to like. He has been incredibly unlucky this year. When you just look at their overall
1-10 with a 5 ERA, and he's just got like
and like you mentioned like road ERA is 2 runs lower. His xFIP is significantly lower, like a full run lower than his ERA. Like the one might not change in that win-loss column. Like there's a chance that it doesn't, but like anything close to the Freeland outing last night is a W because Freeland without the win had 20 plus fantasy points. And then you get the win added to that. And obviously he exploded, but like he's $6,000. And if you're uncomfortable, like I'm more comfortable spending up for bats in rain than I would be spending up for pitching in rain because at least like any delay, Bobby Witt's coming back out there. I can't tell you that Seth Lugo would come back out after a delay.
I'd honestly take any of his last 4 starts, including the 12 fantasy point game, because he's $6,000. Like
$6,000.
If he gives me 12 fantasy points to 6K, like I also consider that to be a pretty good outing. If he gives you 18, 19, and 21, all without wins, mind you, then you're in a good spot. And this honestly might be one of the better odds he's had to get a win all season long. So
he actually has better to get a win, John. He has better odds than Carson Fulmer.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. What is the money line on this game here today?
Money line in this game is
even.
The Rockies are plus 102. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Basically an even game. So he's basically even money for the Rockies to win this game in general. And Feltner, to possibly get his own win there. So, yeah, man. Again, the rest of it's not great. We talked Trevor Rogers a little bit last night. Cleveland obviously has some guys. He added Lane Thomas that can hit lefties well. Jose Ramirez hits lefties well. And Trevor Rogers has pitched better. Got the offense around him to potentially put them in spots to get the win here as well. But certainly a lot of risk.
I mean, the strikeouts are just so dead with him. I mean, they've just been so far gone from like a couple years ago. I mean, like you mentioned it, like he's been fine. I mean, it's been a while since he's had like a legitimate bad outing. He's been like fairly consistent. So if you want to play Trevor Rogers, you can. But at 7,100, wouldn't you just play like Fulmer for 200 more or Feltner for cheaper with like the offenses that they're facing? That would be like where I kind of stand. Like,
yeah, I kind of look at it as well, like 10, 14, 13 fantasy points. He actually managed to get a win in his 10-point game there, but no decisions in the 14, 13, and 13. You put him on the Orioles. They scored some runs, and now you're looking at 19, 17, and 17 fantasy points there. So maybe just a potential edge knowing he has the Baltimore lineup, and we're not really lively fans here today. So, there could be that. The only other guy we really haven't dove into is Charlie Morton. That's Miami here. Any interest on that side?
I mean, I would say, of course, like naturally, there should be interest. I also understand like why you would look at Miami and be like, why wouldn't I play this team who's going to be unowned against a pitcher who's been so inconsistent all year? But it's like put him in the Nick Pivetta box, right? Without like as much of a ceiling. He has 6 innings, no runs, 8 strikeout outings, and then he comes back and against the Marlins and he'll give up 5 runs and 3 1/3. And you're like, well, like yesterday against the Marlins, I cashed with Taj Bradley, right? So it's not like if he has a terrible outing and still gets you like 12 fantasy points, you can't cash on a slate that has bad pitching options.
Yeah, it depends. Well, I mean, Bradley obviously was chalk. If Morton has 35% rostership today, then you can get away with that.
I think he's gonna have 35% rostership. My guess would be he's popular. I think it's like the White Sox, the Marlins matchup, right? You just get ownership baked in with that pitcher because they're the Marlins and the White
Sox. Let's go on over to catcher. Again, some plays we've plugged in a lot. Freddie Furman, $3,300 against Montero. For me, feels pretty good. You get Fry against a lefty at 4,500. We know the numbers for Fry, and just some of those Cleveland guys against left-handed pitching are pretty good as well. You want to go all the way down. We talked Dingler there getting called up, has some power in the bat, $2,400 going up against Lugo. Just some cheap options there.
Yeah, the only other name I would mention is Salvi, who this is the dream spot for right-handed bats. So I love Kansas City. I've been playing a boatload of Kansas City lately, and it's not going to stop today. I mean, they've been really, Kyder Montero is allowing all the power to righties. Righty leading off, righty hitting second, righty hitting fourth, righty hitting fifth, righty hitting seventh. Like, there's a lot of potential to full stack this Royals team with righty bats. And obviously, if you want to play Pasquantino, he's been pretty awesome lately. So you can mix that in as well.
First base, then we'll take us over there. Olsen, who's been a little bit on fire here, 5K. For him, you mentioned Salvi and Pasquantino there. Anybody else in this top half you're looking to play?
Yeah, I mean, Olsen, Salvi, Vinny Paz would be the top 3. I like the righties better than the lefties against Lively. So I'd be good going to Mountcastle, who's been kind of surging, especially on the RBI front. A lot of runs driven in for him, hitting 6th. I think naturally people will gravitate to Brian O'Hearn over him. That's kind of been the case all year. But lefties are hitting 192. Righties are hitting 271. Righties have a 342 WOBA. Lefties have a 274 WOBA against Ben Lively. The strikeout rate's elevated against lefties. So I like Mountcastle 4,400 if I'm playing Orioles. Like again, of course I'm okay playing lefties if I'm playing a stack, but
Sure.
the righties just have been significantly better.
Okay. Working our way under 4K. Obviously, you have some of these Colorado and Angels bats. Chris Bryant, Nolan Shanuel's there at $3,600. Jake Berger homered off Bradley yesterday. He's $3,500. Johnsky Noel, John Heskey, however we decided we were going to pronounce that there.
John Kenzie.
Last night.
It's John Kenzie.
John Kenzie. There we
It
go.
was a brutal. It just
it was a tough segment for us.
Back asleep.
$3,300 for him. So there's certainly some value at first base for us.
Yeah, I'm good with all those names. Obviously Berger's the most potent of the group with the power suddenly being back. This isn't the better split for Berger, but a lot of home runs lately.
Yep, and Morton just throws hard, so goes in hard, goes out hard. Second base, Michael Garcia is leading off, as you mentioned. They moved him back to the leadoff spot there at $4,300. Colt Keith, 36. Someone we can look at. And then Jackson Holiday, 3K, coming off of his grand slam performance last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me not to like what Garcia is doing. Back to leading off. He's running again. He's getting on base again, and he's scoring 11 runs in his last 10 games, 3 stolen bases over that span, 2 coming in the last 3 games. Like that's why people were intrigued with Michael Garcia, right? Like last year he started leading off, he was good. Then like this year led off as the leadoff hitter of the season. But he's had a good stretch, so he deservedly should be leading off. I'm okay getting to Massey if you want the power instead of Garcia. Cole Keith is definitely in play just for a home run. And you mentioned Jackson Holiday. I mean, I'm expecting Holiday to be significantly higher rostered than everyone at this position by like a landslide. Shout out Fleetwood Mac.
But only 14% yesterday, I think it was. So
now he's 3K coming off the Grand Slam with the hype, and again, like it's not the best matchup for lefties, but when you can get a guy of his potential at $3,000, it's worth taking a shot on.
I agree. Anybody else?
No.
Third base we go. Jose Ramirez is your top price play. Good numbers against lefties for him. Austin Riley is at $5,100. You can play Michael Garcia there as well. Thoughts here at third?
Yeah, Ramirez is great. I think the Braves are a little bit sneaky tonight. Everyone's excited about Meyer, but the Braves bats, just how powerful they've been, are waking up. So Riley 51 is good. Mentioned Garcia. McMahon is a little bit interesting. If you're not playing Fulmer, he's been good in back-to-back games. It's kind of like it. I don't think have we gotten a Cubs lineup? I don't think so, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
I don't think Wisdom's in the lineup. I wouldn't really want to play him against a righty anyway. There's like, I guess like have to hat tip Jonah Bride back in the 4-hole tonight, $2,400. If you're not playing Charlie Morton, right? Like,
yeah.
Charlie Morton again, he's going to be popular just based on the matchup, and there is like some upside. Any way to attack chalk, I mean, 2,400 hitting fourth. You do not find 4 hitters hitting at 24. No. You do not find 4 hitters at 2,400. Like you just don't. To be fair, as well, right-handed bats, John, 486 slug, 341 WOBA off Charlie Morton, 1.7 home runs per 9 innings. Like those are objectively good numbers. So if you want to go back to the well with a $2,400 player, if you're fading Charlie Morton,
okay. Moving on over then to shortstop. Bobby Witt, $6,500. Gunnar Henderson, $63. Then a 2K price drop. Going down to Mason Wynn, Tovar, and Xavier Edwards. Honestly, all 5 of those guys are in great spots, but obviously there's a talent separator between the top 2.
Yeah, like I'm good if you don't have the money to get to Witt or Gunnar, but like I don't know, man. the Cutter Montero numbers against righties. I know it's a small sample, but it's just so hard to ignore a guy allowing almost four. It's like this is like Rodri Munoz, right? Every time Rodri Munoz takes him out, and we're like, how do we not play lefties against a guy allowing 4 home runs
Right.
per 9 innings? That's what Connor Montero's doing to righties. He's allowing
Mhm.
nearly 4 home runs per 9 innings. So Bobby Witt's my priority spend, which is really going out on a limb, I know, but he's my priority spend tonight for sure.
Okay. Working our way down. Then again, I mean, this Edwards has been unreal. Just
Unreal. Yeah, unreal.
it's unbelievable at 4K. So just he would be my pivot off if you're not going down. Any additional value for you at shortstop?
I do think our Orlando Arcia hitting 5th is interesting, and when you look at it, we got a long hit streak going right now. I don't know how many games officially, but we got a bunch of games in which he is
It's
hitting
almost
in.
it's like the Ketel Marte hit streak, 1 for 3, 1 for 4 every day. You know.
Yeah, at least 350. Well, at least we do see the 353 in the last 10 games, right? Like it's not like 270 with like
Yeah.
23
Yeah.
game
Marte
hit
was
streak.
legit like 1 for 5 every night. RC is at least holding down a 1 for 3. You know.
And Meyer has again at the minor league level and at the major league level, right-handed variety has been what's served him. So I'm really interested in this Braves lineup tonight. 2,800 for a shortstop. If you're not getting to Bobby Witt, if you're prioritizing like Ozuna instead of Witt tonight, then that'd be a direction I'd go.
Outfield we go. Ozuna, as you mentioned, up there at $5,800. You got your other top end plays. I think Santander, $5,300, though he will be flipping around. We talked about this. The better splits against Lively are righties, but the majority of the Baltimore lineup is probably going to be coming
They're all
from
of
the
them. They're
left
all of
side
them.
of the plate. But Santander can homer off anybody, so I'm not too worried necessarily about that. Lane Thomas checking in at 5K as well. Hits lefties awesomely.
Yeah, I mean, it would be Ozuna for me. If you're fading the Sonny Gray play, lefties have been the ones giving him fits. I would be okay with Bellinger. He's looked great in the 2 games since returning from the IL. So either of those names, Santander, yeah, and no one can keep him out of the ballpark for sure. Yeah, Braves and Royals.
I mean, those are the safe quote unquote games. Quote?
Safe. Well, the safest game is the game you don't want to use offense in because
Correct.
it's the 2 worst offenses on the board.
Fair.
Well, maybe not the worst. Miami exists,
It's the games
but
for the pitchers we like at least one of them, you know. So
yeah,
Cowser
yeah.
4K.
Yeah, I don't want to skip past Soler. I think this is a big home run spot for him. With Meyer struggles against righties, I think this is a spot. He first Braves home run since the last time he was a Brave. Because the Braves love recycling players. If you
They brought the whole outfield back that won their championship. So
dude, if you leave the Braves, there's a good chance you're not saying goodbye forever. Like we're gonna Freddie
Freeman's coming back. Freddie Freeman is 100%. At the very least, he is going to retire an Atlanta Brave.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That's fine. Hap had a good day the other day. If you're not buying into Sonny Gray,
yes.
$4,200 there. Cowser continues to be hot. Verlaine leading off. You know, dual positional eligibility there, $3,900. Tommy Pham homered. We know he hits lefties. $3,900 gets Shota here.
Hit a granny in his debut, and then next 3 hits the next day.
Yep. No, he's good. He's happy to be back in St. Louis.
He is. He sure is.
Renfroe, as you mentioned, $3,600, getting some righty power against Montero. I like Jesus Sanchez, power against Morton, hitting third there at $3,400. Let's see what else we got here for you.
Freeman hitting 7th if you're playing. Okay. Stowers hitting 5th. Obviously, he'll have every bit the chance to develop. Hit 3rd yesterday. That was a little better, but 5th is still.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine like building your 3-4-5 with the Marlins. Jesus Sanchez 34, Jonah Bride 24, Kyle Stowers 29. You can do literally whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, Stowers is a power guy. You know, he hit for a lot of power at the minor league level. Hasn't obviously translated at the major league level, but he's going to get an opportunity to actually play every day. You know, something he wasn't afforded the opportunity to in Baltimore. We got that going for us. Any other outfielders?
Any other outfielders? I mean, nothing.
I once split a pretty expensive box of baseball cards with a couple of buddies, and we were guaranteed 3 autograph cards in that box, and 2 of them were Kyle Stowers. It was an absolute disappointment. The other one, Graham Ashcraft. Terrible box, big waste of money.
Not exactly.
That happens sometimes. It was a Graham Ashcraft autograph out of 5, which sold for about like $35. It was not worth the money we spent on the box there. Getting 2 Kyle Stowers, though, also super disappointing. You see the Orioles logo, and you're like, all right, here we go. Like Gunnar, Adley, something. Nope, Kyle Stowers. Let's go to the lineup.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm so scarred by it. It just had some PTSD there. I'm putting Fellner in the lineup. He's the guy there. What's your next pitcher? What's the pitcher for you?
Let's go play Witt. We'll come back to this because I don't have an answer.
Witt, Salvi, Furman,
Renfroe. Yeah.
Where's Furman here? Furman, Renfroe. Okay.
Good start. Just
yeah.
Plugging Royals.
Where's the next move?
I mean, it's probably Holiday, just given the price.
Yeah, Holiday 3K.
He's going to be really popular, but that's perfectly fine.
Outfield? You like Soler? You called the home run?
Soler, yeah.
All right. Do we do a Soler Riley?
Soler Riley's good. I was just trying to build with Soler Ozuna. It's very difficult, especially with Salvi. It's very challenging.
And then we do like a comeback Jesus Sanchez, and that gives us everybody but Sonny Gray.
It's probably Lugo. Lugo's probably your safest of the top names. Morton's probably the most popular, but we're using Sanchez.
I mean, we have a Casey stack. You might as well use Lugo.
Yeah, I'm good with. I mean, I think Lugo is perfectly serviceable.
I gave us 37. Was there a better 3,700 play? Stack Mullins with Holiday. Not really, right?
No, I mean, it would be, I think the play, if we were thinking about something like this, would be moving off Lugo, going to like Morton, and then playing like Hauser or something.
I didn't catch anything that you just said. What did you say?
The play here would be probably moving off Lugo to like Morton, but I don't think either of us are necessarily comfortable with that.
No, I don't like that. All right, okay, we'll stick with what we got here. Example lineup: Feltner, Lugo, Furman, Perez, Holiday, Riley, Witt, Renfroe, Soler, and Sanchez. We're stacking Royals here tonight. $300 left over. It's 5 games. Just have some fun with it. We'll be back tomorrow. Full slate of action. Grande will be on the playbook for that day. Check it out. Check us in the Discord. Get us on Twitter. If you're not yet a member of the Fantasy Slam family, again, now is your time to do so. The NFL season is a month away. We have the Hall of Fame game tonight. Go to fantasyslam.com/win. Use promo code Let's Go. Get your fantasy football draft guide and cheat sheet for free as part of our All Go package there. The draft guide's $28. The cheat sheet's $24. You can get it all for less than $20 when you sign up. fantasyslam.com/win. Promo code Let's Go. Grande, let's go. We'll see you tomorrow. Talk to you then.